As mentioned earlier in the show, self-confessed chauvinists, the Fuzztones, have got a new album out on Situation 2 called In Heat. Rudi, Protrudi and co were over here recently to reaffirm that they're the world's greatest rock and roll band.
I was brought up in Pennsylvania, poor middle class, lower middle class family. You know, they call us white trash. You know, I lived in a trailer for half of my life, in a beat-up trailer court with a bunch of rednecks. If I walked down the street, people would pull their pickup trucks over, jump out and try to hold me down and cut my hair off. You know, they were raising pigs and going to tractor pulls and stuff on the weekends. You know, that's the way I was brought up. So, you know, to just walk around with long hair or whatever, you know, it was like, it wasn't really a conscious decision to be a rebel. It's just I liked rock and roll, and that wasn't accepted, you know. Where I went to school when I was a kid, it was all short hair and athletics, and if you weren't on the football team, then, you know, you were a target for being beat up.
Fuzztones have got a reputation for attracting a lot of sort of enthusiastic female fans. Yeah. Do you agree with it? Do you think that it's true, or do you think it is a lot of press hype?
I've never seen it in the press. It's true. We've worked real hard for that part of it. We figured if we're going to go on tour, travel and play every night, we should at least have an audience that are pleasing to look at.
Well, you once said that without the groupies, you'd go crazy.
You would.
Well, it's kind of hard touring.
What would you do?
You know, every night for months on end, it's a little difficult. You know, you need kind of an emotional release occasionally, you know.
Do you think you've got respect for your female audience then?
Oh yeah, haven't you ever heard our lyrics?
Well, do you think you have? Because of the impression that I've got is that you treat them like dirt in a way.
Dirt?
That's not true at all, though, actually.
No, that's not true.
You get a lot of female hecklers, though, at the gigs.
We do sometimes, especially in Holland, but we're not against them at all. We have a lot of respect for real. And most of them we stay friends with. We get letters every day, and we usually write back. And a lot of people have come over to visit and will stay with us. In the summer, we must have had, every week was a different set of girls coming over to visit Los Angeles that we'd let stay with us.
They have to wash the dishes and clean the house.
But that's it. That's it.
But what about this 9 Months Later EP? I mean, I believe that was dedicated to some of your female fans.
Well,
yeah, I don't think that's derogatory, though. That's just, you know, it's a song that's about a normal bodily function. You know, people get pregnant when they have sex, you know. It happens.
Yeah, but who do they get pregnant by?
Oh. Well, I guess it depends, doesn't it?
You sit home and reach above my phone and singing off the hook. I've gotta put my head on hold.
It's after the shows where we've had the most violence, with jealous boyfriends and broken windows.
Yeah, actually, though, I think it's our audience who suffers the most. I mean, I can remember a couple times, even here once, we played at Dingwall's. I remember once at Dingwall's, this would be so funny if the girl's watching. This is several years ago. I went over and gave the girl a kiss, and then I walked back, and I didn't know she was with a guy, and the guy beat her to a pulp right there. It wasn't her fault. I mean, I did it, but he beat her up. And then that happened in Italy, too. There was a girl hanging out backstage, and her boyfriend beat her to a pulp. But, you know, we don't encourage anything like that, you know.
What do you do about it?
I guess it all depends. We didn't know it happened till later. I mean, you know, we've...
In Italy, her boyfriend was one of the security of the club, so there wasn't much we could do about that.
We usually try to, you know, take them to a safe place like our hotel or something so they can get away from their...
Well, I've got girls to the left and I've got girls to the right. Goodbye, so long, don't forget to ride. Hear these words I say to you. You need me, then I'll call you. I've got to put my heart on hold.
And,
I think it's just generally people get the wrong impression of us because we are actually proud of what we do. And if you walk around wearing pride on your sleeve, a whole lot of people think you're conceited and vain and blah, 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 blah. I'm really proud of this band. This band's been together for 9 years, and we've worked really hard, harder than anybody I have ever seen. We've gone through a hell of a lot of crap to get to where we are. We didn't just start last night. We didn't jump on some trend. We started a trend. And there's a whole lot of bands trying to be the Fuzztones. I could name off a list up to my arm. And we're really proud of it. You know, and it's not, you know, I think that's all it is. You know, a lot of people misinterpret it. And that's okay, you know. That's fine, whatever they want to think. We're not going to change. You know, we're just going to be who we are. And maybe that's why it took us so long. Because a lot of people do get the wrong impression because, yeah, I guess we're cocky. Because we have a right to be. We worked really hard for it, you know, and I'm not going to act humble if I don't feel humble. I'm not humble. I feel really good about this band. We're, you know, and I think that nothing wrong in saying it.
But now you're coming back again. You say you wanna be my friend. Well, honey, that can never be. 'Cause you said you would through with me, yeah. I've got girls to the left and I've got girls to the right. Hope you don't think that I'm being impolite. I've got better things to do than spend my time getting over you. I've got to put